Cammering the job at 28 to 30 Commercial Road in Footscray. We're cammering up the first section of drain that runs up behind Unit 6 and 5. We've gone down the toilet branch behind Unit 5 and we've cammered all the way to the boundary trap. We're going to pull back slowly from this point. We're about 500 mil from the boundary trap, currently submerged in water. So there is a small section of drain that's holding water after the boundary trap, or just before we get to the boundary trap. We'll pull back slowly and just inspect the drain through. You see here, we'll zero the camera. We're about 1.5 meters from the boundary trap here. And we'll pull back slowly and get any points. On arrival, this section of the drain was blocked, approximately at this point here. We've water jetted and cleaned the drain out from Unit 6 all the way through to the boundary trap. You'll notice that the pipe is slightly cleaner in these areas because of that. There was a lot of tree root build-up across this front section of the drain, which has all been cut out. There's small residue still coming through some of the joins, which we will be able to see. So this is one of the joins that had tree root growing through it. You can see here, the tree roots are being cut back to the join of the pipe. Another join with a small crack in the side of the pipe and a few small tree roots still in the pipe. We're currently heading across the front yard from the boundary trap across to Unit 6, approximately under the driveway at the moment. Small tree roots on that join. Once again, a few tree roots on this join and a small crack in the pipe. Small bit of fat that's in the drain that's being pushed through from the camera. As we get further back in the drain, we'll find there's a lot of grease and fat built up in the drain. More tree roots on this join. Gone around the bend in the drain, which we're now looking straight up behind Unit 6 and Unit 5. Pull back slowly. You can see here on the corner here there's a small crack in the pipe and the pipe has slightly dislodged. There was tree root matter in this corner which has been cut out by the water jet. pipe just here. We can see here the pipe is slightly dislodged and moved sideways. Once again, there was tree root matter built up in this area which has been cut out. This is right on the junction to the back of Unit 6. Now start to see a lot of fat and grease built up in the top of the drain. It's stuck to the top of the pipe due to the blockages that have occurred. The grease has got stuck on the top and has itself cleaned out of the drain. There's a large section of grease in the drain just here, which is sort of dropped in off the roof. This should be cleaned out to avoid further blockages. If we pull back slowly, we'll notice that there is a lot of grease built up in the drain. Again, we can start to see a bit of grease built up on the top of the pipe through this area. There's also a bit of sludge and grease in the bottom of the pipe as well. So we've just come up back up the last junction in this side of the drain, which is the toilet branch. We're coming back up that now. Can see in the drain in this location there has been grease in the pipe. This is the toilet branch, so you shouldn't be receiving any grease in this line other than what may be flushed down the toilet. May need to suggest not to be flushing or washing grease down the toilet. Now cammering the job at 28 Commercial Road. We've gone up the boundary trap shaft, past Unit 1, 2, and we're down up at the corner behind Unit 3 in the drain. We're at the bend where it turns and looks up behind Unit 3 and 4. We can't go any further than this point, so we'll have to camera from the other side from Unit 4 back. We'll pull back slowly and just inspect the main drain back to the boundary trap to this point. junction into unit 2. Everything in the drain up at this point looks fine. A couple of little small openings in a few of the joints, but most of the time the drain's in good condition. Drain is holding a small amount of water through this area. At the moment, as it goes over the lens, it's probably about 20 mil deep in the drain. Keep pulling back slowly. Small amount of tree roots coming in through the top of the drain just here. Nothing to be concerned about. Pretty light, and we haven't done any cleaning in the drain on this side. Drain is holding a very light amount of water in this area here, probably about 10 to 15 mil in the bottom of the pipe. Once again, it doesn't seem to be causing any problems. Looks like to be a very light amount of tree roots coming in through the side of the drain just here. Looks like a join, but just before the junction. Come around the corner here at the front of the property where the drain comes from the boundary trap across to the fence. That's the first elbow just here. That is the junction just there where it drops into the boundary shaft. We'll now camera down the boundary shaft just to inspect the shaft itself. the junction coming from units 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is the junction just here from units 5 and 6. We've now resumed recording. We've come down the back of Unit 4 and we've cameraed down the toilet branch to the corner behind Unit 3 where the last cammering stopped. We'll now pull back slowly from this point. Small dislodgement in the pipe there. We're just coming past the toilet branch just here. That's the toilet branch to Unit 3. Looks like there might be a small amount of tree roots coming through on this junction. And it looks like there might be a small crack in the drain just on the left hand side here that runs around the drain. We can see a tree root on the right hand side here in the drain, growing in the drain. We pull back slowly. There is some tree root mass here in the drain. We pull back a little bit more. This here is the junction from the ORG behind Unit 3, which picks up the laundry and the bathroom. And you can see here the tree roots are growing through the junction.
How's it go?
Small amount of tree roots on that join. Once again, a small amount of tree roots on this join. Small crack on the junction here on the left hand side. This junction is located under the fence between Unit 3 and 4. This is the ORG picking up the two kitchens. You can see here there is tree root matter that was in the drain. It looks like it's been cleaned out at some stage. But it does look to be growing down this ORG at this point. Once again, we have got tree roots growing in through this join. We're now located between the kitchen ORG and the bathroom ORG on Unit 4. is the junction to Unit 4's bathroom. You can see a small amount of tree roots growing down that junction from that branch. Once again, a small amount of tree roots in the drain just here. Looks to be probably a crack in the drain right around. And the tree roots are growing in through there. Could even be an IO junction, I can't quite see the top of the roof. We're now coming around the last bend to the toilet branch for Unit 4. Small amount of tree roots here growing between the cast iron riser and the earthenware, but nothing to be concerned about.